Good morning, students. I'm Amitabh Ghosh from Great Mission Public School, Himmatpur block. And as you know, I'm teaching you Information Technology, course code 402. I hope that till now we have covered up uh, spreadsheet up till session 4, that is set page breaks. In today's session, I would like to cover two micro chapters, that is session 5 and session 6. Session 5 says about setup page layout and then manage workbook views. Setting up page layout is required um, when you want to have proper formatting of your document or spreadsheet, and managing workbook views means your spreadsheet is also called as book or workbook, where you enter or save your data in the form of worksheet. So how you can view that workbook in a page preview before taking printout. uh, Before you taking a printout, you set up some margin. All those margin can be viewed in print previews. So all these things I would be covering up today. Please stay tuned with me. I hope that you are able to view my lectures, and I also hope that you are studying from your workbook. If you have any problem or any difficulty, welcome back, students. So we are starting a new session, that is page setup, and in this page setup we would be talking about set margin, set page headers and footers, set size of the page, specify the background, set orientation, i.display guidelines, and define the print area. As from these topics, you came to know that we are talking about page, how you organize page by doing proper formatting, by setting up the margin area, by setting up the size of the page, by setting up and checking orientation of the page, whether it's portrait or it should be in landscape view, to check if there is any header or footer you can set for a page. And finally, before taking a printout, you can check the preview of the page. So all these stuff we will be covering up today. So let me minimize the screen, and I already have my Excel sheet open. This sheet you have already seen before, so I'm going to discuss from here itself. I removed few of the fields like phone numbers and email IDs from this Excel sheet. So Excel sheet is also called a spreadsheet, where you enter data in an organized manner, and by default it is also called as workbook. In a workbook you have different type of sheets. Here, when you open a new workbook, you will find there are three default sheets named by sheet 1, sheet 2 and sheet 3. These sheets can be similar to your book pages, where your book can be a workbook like this, and in every book you have several pages where every pages have distinct data. In a similar manner, if you want to add some worksheet, you can click over here or press shift plus F11 button to open a new worksheet. And if you do not require, just right click on it and click on delete, and it will delete that worksheet. So in this chapter, as I said, it's all about page layout, how to set page layout. So this page layout can be organized or checked from page layout tab, and in page layout tab you have different type of groups available like themes, page setup, scale to fit, sheet options and arrange. Basically, So during page setup, we would be dealing in this section only, and if it is required, we can adjust height and width. So first, let's set up a margin. So before setting up a margin, you need to check how much data you have entered in a workbook. Once you are sure, once you check the entire data, then what you can do is go to page setup group, click on margin icon, and you will find different type of settings of margin. Normally, when any worksheet is completed, we are in normal mode of setting margin, where you have different marginal measurement. Like if you can check for normal, top, bottom, left and right, that means top area of your worksheet, bottom area of your worksheet, left area of the worksheet and the right area of the worksheet. The spacing from the first corner of your worksheet to the data enter is 1.91 centimeter, and the bottom area is 1.91 centimeter. That means when you are going to take a printout in an A4 sheet of paper, then your data will start printing after leaving 1.91 centimeter from the top and 1.91 centimeter from the bottom. I'll show you how. Then on left hand side it will leave an area of 1.78 centimeter, and on right hand side it will leave 1.78 centimeter. Let me select this option. Once it is selected, if I need to check the preview of the worksheet, then what I can do is click on File tab, then click on Print. Before taking printout of your spreadsheet, you will notice that how much space or margin has left from the top area, bottom area, left area and the right area of your A4 sheet of paper. So it was set to normal, so it was considered as 1.91 centimeter from top, 1.91 centimeter from the bottom, 1.78 centimeter from the left area and similarly 1.78 centimeter to the right area. For that you can check that normal margin is already selected, and it is the same settings that I showed you in page setup. So from here also you can adjust different type of marginal settings. If you want a width of your document, then this type of printout comes when you press print command in a printer. So this is not looking good at all. So let me check normal. And if you want to save paper, then also you need to change the margin setup to narrow, because it will take much more area from left hand side and right hand area. Or if you want to have your own custom margin, then go to custom, and here itself you can set the measurement of your margin. If you check over here, two more margin already mentioned, that is for header and the footer. Header, as you all know, that it is the top title of your spreadsheet or workbook. So it is set as 0.08. Let me check if it is given over here. Let me click on margin, custom margin. Yes, it is. So if you want to increase the size of the header, either you can click on upward arrow, or else in this selection box you can type measurement of header and the footer. I want it 1.81 centimeter for header and same for footer. Once you're sure, click on print preview. So as you can see, my data for header and the footer has been adjusted on measurement. Now comes to page orientation. Now what is page orientation? Well, page orientation is the preview of the page, how your documents is to be printed in which pattern, either in horizontal pattern or in vertical pattern. So there are only two types of orientation. One is portrait and the other one is landscape. If you check both the preview, here the height of the document is greater than the width of the document, whereas it is reverse in case of landscape. So depending on the width and the height of the data, you will choose orientation. As my column size is bigger than the screen size, so what I did is I select orientation as landscape. So the preview that you are seeing over here, let me click over here in preview. This preview is for landscape, and if you want to change it to preview, click over here and click on portrait. You see that? But if you notice, my extra data which is uh, towards right hand area of the spreadsheet, it's cut it off. So it is not a healthy practice to take printout of this spreadsheet. So I need to change orientation from portrait to landscape. I still need to adjust some of the fields over here. Once I'm sure, then I will take a printout of the document. So let me go back first, click on page layout area, and this time I need to check paper size. So to check paper size, under page setup I need to click on size, and which type of paper I will check depending on me. Like as by default A4 size of sheet is selected. If I want to change the pattern of the paper which has a different measurement, I may select this one, because uh, the area of A3 size of paper is bigger than A4 sheet of paper. But not only selecting the right paper size, you need to physically insert that type of paper. Only then your data will be imprinted in a correct manner. So A4 sheet of paper is bigger than A4 sheet of paper, and there are different types of measurement. Normally for taking printout in a spreadsheet, we choose A4 size of sheet or else A3 size of sheet. However, for documentation, we can either select legal or letter. Alright, there are some other settings which is given over here. You can go through it one by one and you can check its measurement. So there are different type of Unicodes and page setup of your document. Depending on your requirement, you can select the document. Alright, now what comes next? Now how to apply background. Means in some cases, when you think that the preview of the data is just looking normal, then to change the setup of your mind, you need to have some picture which feels good. Means if you want to take printout for any designer work or graphical work, in that case you need to have some background of the image which makes your data more uh, soothing for your eyesight. So in order to add uh, worksheet background, what you can do is uh, go to page layout, then go to page setup group, and then finally click on background icon, which is given over here. So click it over here, and then it will open a dialog box about worksheet background. Now, to add a picture, you need to know the location of the picture. So I have a data of few pictures in downloads. Let's say I want to take this graph as a picture. So I selected the graph and I click on insert. So if you can see, the image is already inserted with a multiple tile format. But if you don't like this picture, you still have an option. Either you can click on print tile and set different type of orientation according to your choice, or else you can delete your background picture, and if you want to choose another one, you can again click over here and click on downloads. As I have saved this picture in few pictures in download, click on another picture and click on insert. So if it looks like soothing, you can have a proper background of the picture. I do not like this picture, so let me remove it. If I think so, I will add a picture in the background. Now, how to set up print area? Well, when you click on print area, it will ask you how much area of your data needs to be print out. So when I click over here, it says something. You have selected a single cell for the printer. Definitely I only select a single cell. So it gives me a warning message. It is not an error, but it's a warning message because I just selected single cell. It's a complete cell that is selected over here. So let me select a proper area to take a printout of the document. Let's say I'm selecting this much of area. I need to take printout of 15 rows only. So this much area is selected. If I want to check preview of that area, then what I can do is again go to File tab, then click on Print. Okay, one mistake I did is I didn't clear that area once. Okay, now it is clear. Now let me take a printout of this particular area. Then I click on Set Print Area. Now when I'm going to take a printout, the preview that is shown over here will be a same after you taking a hard copy, because still few of the data is cut it out because that data is on next page. So whatever area you select in this print area selection, that particular area will be printed out. If you notice, there is one dotted lines. That means the setup of A4 sheet only starts from this much of area and it ends this much of area, because wider than this range will go to the next line. So either you can adjust using page break method, or else you can remove the unwanted column from this spreadsheet. Heading of the lines I have already cleared you out. Means if you click over here, you will find this is the heading of your worksheet. And in another area, if you click on a blank area, you won't see that heading. Means if a blank cell is selected, that heading will not be reflected. Heading, whatever heading you are seeing here is nothing but a selection of your cell. So if a blank cell is selected, there is no data, there is non-heading area. So that is it for today. I hope that it is easy to understand. One more thing, if you need to add some background picture in a heading, what you can do is you can select the heading of that workbook, then go to fill color and select the color according to your choice so that this data looks distinct from the additional data. So let me select this also. So now it is looking better, I guess. This particular area looks distinct from this particular worksheet. So that is it for today, and in the next video I will be covering up manage workbook views. Thank you so much. Goodbye for now.